And it was to place in our basement to hold a boombox. You know what a boombox is? Hey everyone, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonab and I'm so happy that you are here with me today because I have for you 4 DIYs that are made with salvaged wood, which is like scrap pieces of wood. You know by now, I love working with scrap wood, and today's DIYs I know you're going to love. They're easy, inexpensive, and very farmhouse. So I also want to let you know that I am partnering today with 3 other DIYers that are also going to bring you some salvaged decor, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but let's get started. So as mentioned in the beginning, this was a frame that my husband made to hold a boombox, a big radio, in our basement early on in our marriage, and we just took it down and it was in our scrap wood area. So I am going to take this other piece that actually was attached to it and I'm going to cut them in angles so that I can place one in each side. I am then going to attach them using brad nails, and I needed something to kind of hold the bottom of it because it is thinner than the frame. And so I just took a piece, like a little roll of tape from Cricut, and placed it underneath. It worked fine. So I'm using 1-inch brad nails, and I'm going to place 1 and then in a couple of places 2 to make sure it's nicely secure. And then it's time to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Once everything was painted, I am going to put 2 sawtooth hooks on the back. That way it could be hung from there. And I used the ones that you screw in because I need it to be very secure, because we are going to be adding some hooks, which then it can be used as a coat hanger or purse hanger or whatever you may need. I'm going to distress it pretty heavily using my palm sander. That way it has a very strong farmhouse look to it, which I prefer, but of course it does not have to be that way. If you are going to recreate something like this, you can certainly leave it painted in whichever color you'd like. In the places that were a little snug, I did use my sanding block to get in there. I also placed a screw so that we can hang a wreath here in a little bit. Here are the hooks that I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to place 4 of them. I get these on Amazon, and I do have them on my Amazon store. Once again, if you have never visited my Amazon store, I have all of my favorite supplies, paints, and tools all in one place. You can also follow me there, and anytime I add new products, you'll be notified. So I'm just going to keep adding these as separate, like evenly separated from each other, and I am using black screws so they blend in very well with the hooks. I'm done with this one, and I think it turned out so beautiful. I love that we reused this frame that was meant to just be thrown away, and I love it. I think it turned out super cool. Alright, here is the plan for these salvaged scrap wood pieces that I had in the garage. So they're 2x4s, and one of them is larger than the other. And I saw Mrs. DeWalt. Have you guys seen her? If you don't follow her, I don't know if she has a YouTube channel, but I do follow her on Instagram. She has really cool just woodworking ideas, and I saw something she posted and I thought I can totally recreate something like that. So her page name is Mrs. DeWalt, like the tool company. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece just like this size. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 pieces that size, and then the other one I'm going to leave this length, the length that is going to be left over, and then we're going to make some angled cuts. So on this one, let me grab a pencil. Hold on. So on this one, I'm going to make an angled cut kind of like this. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to make a cut kind of like this. after I cut it like here, you know, after I have both cuts made. And then the leftover piece, we are going to, so it's going to be cut like around here. And then I'm going to cut it where I have kind of like that. Okay. Oh my gosh, can you even see that? All right, so like a little, it'll all make sense in a minute, but I'm gonna go to my miter saw, make a few cuts, and I'll be right back. Here we go. Okay, so I made the cuts, and can you see kind of like what I'm going for? Now that I look at it, it looks like a church. But we're gonna make a barn. We're gonna stick to the plan. We're gonna make a barn. So we are going to sand them, we're gonna paint them, and we're gonna add some barn doors and some windows, and I think it's gonna look really cool. Let's see. I'm using a 120 grit sandpaper and my electric sander. We're just gonna sand them down, make sure they are smooth, and we're gonna be painting all sides of this piece. So everything I am sanding, and then I'm gonna wipe very, very well. I'm gonna use Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and I'm gonna give it 2.5 coats. If you are enjoying this video, I would love for you to take a second and give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up really helps this video reach more people and helps my channel grow. You can also give me a super thanks, which is also on the right side of the thumbs up. You can also do that and help support my channel even more. The very top, I am going to paint black, and this is Waverly chalk paint in the ink, and I'm just going to do the tops so that it just looks like a roof. I decided not to join them together so that they could be separate or as joined as we want it to be. And then I'm going to use a little box that I had already on hand to kind of recreate a door, a barn door. And I wanted it to be as straight as possible. So I did use a guide with a box that I already had just place where I dropped some little drill bits and things like that. But it worked out really well. And now I'm going to use my square here, and I'm just going to use it vertically, or not vertically, like at an angle. And I'm going to use that as a guide so that I can crisscross some lines. And then I'm going to freehand the window on top. And this is it for this one. I love this one. I love how crisp, white, and farmhouse it looks. All right, next project is going to be with this piece of kind of like paneling. I've had it in the garage for a while. You can see it has all this stuff. We'll clean it off, but I'm going to use this to make tags. I think it's a perfect thickness for tags, and I'm going to make a nice like tag decor. So I'm just going to go to my miter saw and start making some cuts. Maybe I can get 4 tags, maybe 3. I'm hoping 4, and then of course make the angled cut that tags normally have, and then we'll continue to work on it. All right, so I'm going to do a quick measure here and just kind of have as close as possible as even boards as I can. Once I had everything cut and angled as well, I am going to just clamp it onto my workbench here so that I can use a spade blade and just drill holes right through all 3 of the tags. It just made it easier instead of trying to do one at a time. I'm going to sand it down quite well just to make sure there's no splinters. This kind of paneling, when you cut them using saws, they just kind of splinter a little bit. So I'm just smoothing them out so that they are smooth to the touch. And then we're going to start using some Mod Podge here, actually a lot of Mod Podge.
and 3 different types of fabric. I want this to have a farmhouse look, but a little bit more of a textured look instead of just painting. So I'm just going to add some Mod Podge. And the first fabric here is a kind of like a ticking stripe fabric that I got at Walmart several months ago. And I'm just going to roll it over, let it dry. So I'm just going to cut off the excess fabric with my rotary cutter and just put it to the side until it dries. I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. This fabric is from a fabric bundle I got at Walmart as well. Roll it over, cut the excess off, put it to the side to dry. Same thing with the third one. This one I'm using a faux black leather from Amazon. I do have on my Amazon store if you're interested in taking a look at that. And then once they were dry, I'm just going to cut off all the excess as close as possible to the edge. And that way we'll have nice smooth edges. For the center hole, I tried using my X-Acto knife. It wasn't working very well, so then I ended up moving to scissors. Just poked a hole and started cutting. That worked out pretty well, actually. And I did that with all 3 of them. I cut some vinyl decals here using my Cricut. For the first one here, I'm going to use this chicken and chick, and we're just going to place them towards the bottom of the tags. The second one is a cow, and then on the third one, I cut out it in a white vinyl, and it says Farm Sweet Farm. I do have these decals on my Etsy shop. If you haven't visited my Etsy shop, I have done quite a bit of upgrading. I've been adding different decals that you can purchase, and they're all free shipping, and I would love for you to take a look at them. And I have a lot of farmhouse decals that you can choose from, and I'll be adding more and more, so make sure you follow me there and favorite my shop, and that way you can be notified when I add new decals. So for this Farm Sweet Farm, I don't know where that second F went. Like, seriously, I was looking for it. I'm like, where did it go? I ended up having to cut another one and added it, so it's there. All right, so now we're going to add some nautical rope here from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to start with this one here. Now, in a little bit, you're going to see that I ended up removing this rope because it wasn't letting me stack the tags the way I wanted to stack them. I'm just showing you the process. So I'm just going to add some nautical rope, thread it, and then knot it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2. Now I'm going to start to just kind of stack them. I'm trying to figure out how I want them to look, who's going to go on top of which one, and that kind of thing. So here I am removing that rope. That way it allows me to stack them how I need to. And then later on, I am going to add the rope again, making it seem like it's been threaded, but you're going to see what I do. I'm just going to stack these and then staple them together using staples that are the right size for them. And that worked out really well. I contemplated hot gluing them as well, but it really didn't need it. But if you're going to recreate something like this, you can certainly hot glue them as well. So here we are. I'm just going to kind of straighten out the ropes. And then here I am stapling that third rope to the actual tags. I'm going to make it seem like it's being threaded through that third tag, but in all reality, it's just stapled, just to give the illusion. And then I'm just going to straighten them out. I'm going to tie it with a little jute string just that they're all snug together. And then I'm going to cut the excess nautical rope so they are all pretty even on top. And then I'm going to take some of these like little garland. It's like a wired garland I get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make 2 very simple bows with them, and then I'm going to hot glue them to the top of the nautical rope. And we're done with this one. I'm just going to hot glue the last one here. I think it turned out super cute. I have never done a triple tag decor. I've always done either 1 or 2, and I love doing the triple. I think it really just filled it up, and I think even a 4th one would be really cool to add. But let me know what you think of this. As I mentioned earlier, this video is in collaboration with 3 amazing and talented women, Theresa B, DIY, Simple Roots, Simple Living, and Breeze Arts. Their channels are going to be linked down below in the description box, so check them out. I hope you enjoy all this inspiration that we are bringing to you today and that you are inspired by it. All right, my friend, so we are in my garage once again, and you see this sign right here. I did this sign back in the fall. It's super large. It's made with fence boards that my husband and I replaced our fence in the summer. Actually, it was, yeah, end of summer. And so I kept a lot of these boards because they were just going to throw them away. And I was like, why not? So I made this large sign. I'm not going to use it for fall anymore, right? So I'm going to use my miter saw to just make some cuts. We're going to make a very simple box. And we're just going to make 4 boards and then 1 for the bottom. All right, here are the 5 boards that I cut. I don't think I'm going to paint it. So listen to me for a minute. I know it's a hot mess in here, but this eventually will be the inside of the box. Now on the outside, I have all like the white, like where you could tell something was written on it. And I kind of like that look. So see, like this side will have like this. Over here we'll have that. And over here we'll have this. And I think it will look really cool once I build the box. Which, you know, it would be something like this. And like this, and you get the gist of it. I think it will look really cool to have all that texture and all that look. What do you think? So I'm cleaning up the boards. There were some brad nails that are left over, and I'm just going to start assembling it. And basically, just like I showed you, I'm just going to start putting the sides together and then the 2 smaller ends. And you're going to see me here that I mess up. This one gave me such a headache because I thought I was done. You're going to see it here. I'm just attaching this last one. And then when it comes to the smaller sides, I placed them backwards. Like the color, like the painted side is inside of the box. And I did it with both sides. So here I am removing them and I broke them. Ugh. So I went back outside, cut 2 more pieces. I'm going to reattach them using the brad nails. And that worked. Ugh. It really took me longer than it should have. But the magic of video, it took seconds. But anyways, I'm just going to add some florals here from the Dollar Tree. I want this to look like wildflowers in a box that was picked at the fields, you know, that kind of feel. And I just think it turned out super cute. I love that I just left it extremely rustic. It has a farmhouse, but like an old farmhouse style. It looks like these boards have been around for a long time, which they have. But I just really love the way they turn out. But let me know what you think. Do you like it that I left it like this? Do you not? Let me know in the comments. If you are visiting for the first time, or if you are visiting from one of the other girls' channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you get inspired to create your own decor, and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have a playlist and a video here that if you want to watch a lot more of trash to treasure, scrap wood decor, click on one of these videos. I'm sure you're going to love them. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Bye.